Welcome to my channel Science to Technology. Hopefully you guys can hear me and basically look at me without any issue. If that is so, please type yes AV so I will get a confirmation, and if you want to send the emoji, just send the 100% emoji. That will validate whether the audio and video stream is working. I'm waiting for incognito window to give me a feedback. Science to Technology. Hopefully you guys can hear me and basically look at me. Yeah, to best of my understanding that audio and video streams are working. So waiting, well, is there a lag because I'm actually live right now, so I'm a bit confused. Yes, AV, okay. That confirms it that audio and video are working. So let's dive deep into it. Now, today's stream, I really wanted to focus on low temperature thermal desalination. Why is that? Well, a dedicated video on this puppy will be coming on Tuesday. No, pardon me, Thursday. It will be coming on Thursday, Science Thursday, and it's a very amazing technology because you have to understand, as a human population is growing, Earth is not running out of water. Earth is running out of fresh water. So we have salty water, but what if we can yeet the salt out of it without causing too much hassle? For example, the old system of thermal desalination, thermal desalination that is used by OPEC nations, it consumes too much energy. Now, the amount of water we are talking about for a civilization, you need bigger unit than liters. So this is not good enough. So we generally measure in something much bigger than that. For example, cubic meter or 1 ton or 1000 liter or 1 kiloliter. So these becomes the unit whenever you are talking about something large. So 1 cubic meter or 1 ton of water, and you're like, wait, they match perfectly. Yeah, water, we built all our measurement based on water, so yes, it does match up. So fundamentally the idea with energy requirement is that for 1 cubic meter how much you are consuming. So if you calculate it, just sheer mathematics is like, I take sea water, I boil water away, condense it, what kind of energy we are looking at? You're looking at almost 600 plus unit of energy, as in kilowatt hour, to get 1 ton of water. And you're like, wait a minute, 600 units and only 1 ton of water? That's a lot. Like most people household, like in India, the water tank we have in our house is barely like 2 ton or 3 ton. So that's too much. So okay, what can we do? Well, we can use the waste heat. Basically, once you condense the steam or water vapor, you get all the energy back. So what if we can recycle this energy? Well, this is exactly how multi desalination system works, where you have multiple stages. So waste heat from one keeps getting recycled, and we are quite good at it. So nowadays you can easily find plants that are 4 or 5 stage, or some even higher than that. So generally it works till 4 to 5 stage, because you have to understand, you cannot make the hot side of water much hotter. Why? Well, if you have basically any experience with water heaters, you know for a fact that if you heat, it scales up, right? And that's happening on fresh water. You do not even want to imagine what will happen to your heat exchangers if you're sending water, salty water, that is at around 100 degrees Celsius. So we generally try to calm it down. So let's say 70 degrees Celsius, and then we pull a vacuum, and that vacuum evaporates majority of the water. Okay, cool, awesome. But here's the deal, that vapor has to condense somewhere. So we send incoming stream, basically the water that we have to distill, so to say, incoming stream, it dumps majority of heats into that, condenses, you get fresh water, and that incoming stream is now preheated. Then we send it to another chamber, pull even another vacuum. So we do this multiple times basically, and then you can reduce the power consumption to per ton of water to around 150 to 70. So 70 unit to 150 unit. That's the sole reason why only OPECs are the nation which actually do this. It consumes too much energy, like too much, like bonkersly large amount of energy is consumed for this. So it's flat out not viable for even for Israel. It's not viable. Like it's not viable for most of the humanity. Only OPEC nations are like squeaking by, so to say. And even they are reaching the upper limit of their energy infrastructure. They just are lucky that they have the gas directly to create the energy. So that's a primary issue with that thermal desalination system. And if you're like, okay, what are the penalty of that? Well, while you do consume a lot of energy, you also get brine. Now, brine in this scenario is not very bad. It's like, if I have to simplify, it would be simplified as 1.5x. So if you take salt water, it's 1x. Imagine you remove 50% of water out of it. So that gives you 1.5x of concentricity, meaning you have to dilute it. If you just send it to the ocean, which we used to do, yeah, that will sterilize the area where you're sending it. So you will destroy the whole local ecology. You will change the salinity too much too quickly, and nature cannot adapt to it. So yeah, you do need some mitigation strategy, which basically translates to dump enough fresh water to dilute it. So you basically your intake, the intake that you are consuming from the sea goes up exponentially. Then you dump brine into that, so it gets diluted. Then dump that whole mix into the ocean without causing too much hassle. It's mitigation. It's not like eliminating the problem, it's just a mitigation. The frame core guy, yes, AV, thank you so much. And H and M, okay, no, M and M, yo. So yeah, you can figure it out. Like the thermal desalination that we utilize, it's very energy intensive and does have some penalty to the ecosystem. So if you have a people who are fisheries, basically who are relying on ocean to feed them, yeah, that's a very bad destructive thing in long term. And then you're like, okay, thermal desalination, too much energy and has brine, so why not we go to RO? Now RO is a very like we knew the science, but to this large scale is kind of recent thing. So that happened, Israel went all in into it. Now they have one of the world's best system. Basically they have one of the best, most efficient systems. So they have dropped the energy consumption per ton of water to almost 3 units of energy. That's like, damn, that's almost reaching a point that's like my water pump consumes that kind of energy to pump the from borewell to top. Like that's low. Now again, it's a ludicrously expensive plant, idiotically advanced system. Like the biggest advancement happened in pressure recovery system, meaning when you want to do RO, it's reverse, it's not osmosis, it's a reverse osmosis. You have to use pressure to compensate for that. So we generally send 50 bars of water, that goes through the basically membrane system. Now here's the deal, the brine that is coming out on the other, basically the wastewater, it still has a lot of pressure. So you can send 50 bars, it still has 40 bars left. So somebody figured it out, like what if we use that 40 bars of energy dumped into the incoming stream? So it will reduce the motor's energy requirement. And yes, that did work. And again, motors are the primary energy consumption of RO systems. So if people say like RO is fundamentally the most energy efficient, that's the reason for it. You are not spending energy for thermal phase change, you are just spending energy to move water from another. So for that primary reason, they're like, okay, what if we use basically, I read the comment while I was thinking about it. That's why it's like, I forgot about it. Yeah, okay. So we take that 40 bars of that is coming out of the brine system. We use pressure converters. Basically, it takes brine water, dumps all its energy into incoming, and you can get almost like, for 40 bars or like 39 bar. Basically, you do lose some energy, but you get majority of energy back. That's how the per unit cost of per ton of water is so low, and it works. Now, what is the penalty? If it works, it consumes so little energy, what's the penalty? Yeah, the brine is far more brutal than compared to even with this water. Compared to normal thermal desalination, that's generally classified as 1.5x. When you're talking about RO, that puppy catches 2. So that's brutal, meaning if you dumped that kind of water into sea, yeah, it's gonna sterilize that area. And we have done it. We have sterilized enough area. That's how we know that it is not acceptable. And not to mention, you have to understand, membranes are not indestructible. So make sure that scaling does not foul them up. We have to use some chemicals to help this process out. Now that also creates chemical waste into the outstream. Again, it's not too hazardous, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, doing it one or two plant, not that big of a deal. Doing every plant on the planet, yeesh. So it's one of those things. Basically, the biggest hurdle for it is that the concentrated waste it creates is like very brutal. Nature adapts anything, sir. Human have to adapt to nature or the other way around. Here's the deal. Nature is not magic. Nature is not magic. Nature is just survival algorithm. And again, you can overwhelm the algorithm. For example, if a supermassive volcano goes kaboom, yeah, majority of your mother earth or nature, yeah, it's gonna die, flat out die. No humans present, poof, gone, done. One asteroid goes, boom, done, gone. So nature is not just some magical beast or anything like that. It's just an algorithm that allows survival of the fittest. Now, does that mean you can overwhelm it? Easily. Freakingly. It's very easy to overwhelm it. Now, what about humans? Should human adapt to nature or nature should adapt to us? Well, it depends how you see humans. If you see humans as a creature that of intelligence, intelligence is the final form of power. Like, what is the uppermost limit of power? That's intelligence. Because once you have the intelligence, you can control things that are like, like there is no animal on this planet which is like, you know what? I use, nuclear reactors as my energy source. We do. And again, we are working our ass off. I do expect it's going to take very long time, but we maybe in 100 or 150 years may even have fusion, basically power of the sun driving our industries. That cannot be done by nature. So for that reason, fundamentally, nature, basically we should not cause unnecessary harm. I'm all for it. If you're like, hey, it's causing harm to nature, I'm like, let's apply some brakes here. Because again, we are not wise enough yet. We are early phase, Mark 1. Once we have planet number 2, planet number 3, planet number 4, we can go YOLO on it. But we are not there yet. So fundamentally, we have to be cautious as of now, because while we have, like, we are in a toddler state where we know things, but we don't know enough of it. Basically, we did know how to use hydrocarbon. We just did not realize that we should cycle the hydrocarbon rather than directly consuming it. So we ended up with a lot of hassle of, global warming, so to say. How's your progress with the book Subtle Art of Not Giving a F? I completed the book long ago, man, and it was good. It was good. It's like certain of its essence stuck with me. I just completed my 5th book. I did like thought of talking about it, but I was like, I'm not sure. Like it will become like almost book channel. And again, I'm like saving up money for my court penalty, so I do not want to buy another book. So I'm like rereading Do Not Believe Everything You Think. That book. It's my 3rd number book, I think. Yeah, it's the 3rd number book. So The Art of Not Giving F was my 4th book, and it is really good. Like one of the most interesting, like it finally clicked for me was there is a chapter where they are talking about like a old woman who's like fighting for coupons to a shopkeeper. Like she's in a mall and she's fighting about the coupon and all that. And we look down on this sort of interaction where it's like why both parties are wasting time. But then he puts a new construction here. It's like, imagine she's an old woman. There is a very good chance she is in an old age home, meaning she has no family to care about, and likelihood of people who give a damn about her is almost negligible. The likelihood that somebody actually cares, not just like, okay, I'm here to keep you alive. No, care, like as in like, I give a damn about you. That likelihood is very low. Now imagine in that state, what do you give a damn about? And that was a very critical aspect. You have to give a damn about something. You cannot be like, I do not give a damn. No. You have to give a damn only about this. It's like, I give a damn about this. This is my battle, so to say. You go. And then you ignore everything else. That's the perfect way of living. You cannot be like, I do not give a damn about anything. Yeah, you will go mad. And you're like, what if I give a damn about everything? You will go mad. So the key is selecting. It's like, okay, so that woman has selected that this collecting coupon, because that's one of the few things she could do, like, read newspaper, collect coupons. That becomes her things to give a F about. And if somebody is fighting against her, it's like, you are wasting your own time, because it's not going to help the situation. So that was a very intriguing way of looking at human condition, where it's like, you have to understand, if somebody is fighting about political things and all that, it's like they have nothing better to think about. Like, I do not talk about politics because I have so much more to learn. Like, I have so much more to learn, where it's like, oh, you want to talk about politics? How about now? How about let's talk about low temperature thermal desalination? How about let's understand the fact that it has such a low concentration of brine that it is almost negligible, meaning it's classified as 1.1x. So it has almost no effect, meaning you can return the brine water and nature does not care. That's the awesome part. That's what I want to think about. That's what I want to give a F about. But I do not want to give about, oh, this party election happened, this happened. It's like, I ain't got time for that. So it was a very unique way of looking at things. And I would urge for most people to read it. Just give it a try. If it works, awesome. If it does not work, well, what else is there is to, give it a more. Yeah. Okay. Is there any chance of is there any chance of rise of patriotic society again in India? No. For patriotic society, you have to have a bit of a what you call pride to it. We do not have that, and not to mention we have too much what you call scatterbrain, so to say. And again, inherently, the core destroyer of what we call India were Indians who wrote laws in 1984. So you cannot expect a country to give a damn about itself if the citizens willingly write something that destroys its future. So it's like, yeah, you're digging your own grave. It's like, oh, then what? Then why the heck anybody will give a damn about it? You have to be mindful of that. And it's like, nature does not care if human exists or not. Nature have to respect work or nature. We'll just infinitesimally tiny creatures with its existence. Yeah, you are going into too much, emotional masturbation. It does not matter like that. We can blow up this planet. We can erode 100% of the biosphere. And here's the deal. We are the only thing that matters on this planet. Because we think. We are the only thing that matters. We are the only thing that can jump from this planet to another planet. Because here's the deal. At some point, this planet will be blown up. Either by supermassive volcano, either by asteroid, or which is absolute, the sun will going boom. It will happen. The only way this planet can ever survive, it creates intelligence. We are the intelligence. If we jump into other ecosystem, basically going to Mars, that's the Mark 1, then jumping into other solar system, only then the legacy of Earth can survive. So fundamentally, this masturbation thing is like, oh, we are so infinitesimally. Of course, we are that infinitesimally small, but we are significant. Like we are significant for Earth because here's it. Earth is infinitesimal. Like there is no difference from Earth to Mars. There is no difference unless the life created on Earth jumps out of it. It's like, whoa, whoa. You broke that vacuum barrier. It's like, whoa, you jumped from there. It's like, whoa, whoa. That's the whoa moment. It's like, that's why it's so important for civilization, intelligent civilization to survive. So your unused Stirling engine used in solar concentrator for from the power generation instead of solar farm? No, it's a stupid idea. We've been there, done that, tried that. It's dumb idea. Solar concentration only makes sense for let's say some scenarios where you do need what we call hybrid energy model. For example, there are a lot of solar concentration in India where they are like using the high pressure steam to generate power, and then that using that steam for hot water. Let's say you are running an ashram or hospital where you have to require bonkers amount of hot water to sterilize so much, right? Like you're consuming so much. Or cooking, you're consuming bonkers amount of heat. In those sort of scenarios, you get your electricity, then you get so much waste heat that you can utilize, then it makes sense. But just as a power plant, it's a power freaking plant, solar panels are far, far, far better. We have been there, done that, and then people have like random ideas of like the people who do not study is like, you know, what if we had like, you know, molten salt for like, you know, energy storage with solar concentrator? Yeah, it does not work. We built it, it does not work. Like people do not understand that solar concentrator cannot create enough energy, enough high temperature that its melting point is like, you know, what you call the salt that they are using, it requires 200 degrees Celsius to maintain liquid state, meaning most of the time even a minor scenario where it happens is like, you know, sun goes down or clouds happen, yeah, the whole piping gets destroyed because again the liquid salt freezes, becomes solid and blocks the whole piping. That's why it does not work. We tried it, this whole idea, we tried it. It's just that people have to understand keeping something in molten state is not a very easy task. And again, it's not molten in like, okay, it's a tub where we have molten soil. No, it is a whole plumbing. That's why it's not successful. Other designs they that are trying to do molten thing, again they are putting it in a tub where they are not moving it. That makes sense, but again that works on electricity. At that point in time, might as well use solar panels, is far more cheaper. And other system that is my personal favorite, the graphite storage, solid state, no phase change, and it has high temperature. So that's why I will buy psychology of the money after completing the subtle. Yeah, you can go for that. You can go for that. Patriotism without intellect is destructive patriotism. Yeah, you can say that. You can say that. See, the world has progressed into a very complex reality at this point in time. It's like, hold on, just. So the world right now is very, very, very ludicrously complex, so to say. So are you wrong? But 90% India converted to one religion and that will happen and it's scary. You are wrong because one day 90% India convert to one religion and then it will happen and it's scary. No, I know what you're talking about. It's just that I'm not considering that because that's not native to us. So fundamentally, not that big of a deal. Again, I'm not delusional enough to think that I'm going to live for hundreds of years. I'm like, that would be a very bad curse. Can you imagine like getting cursed that you're going to live 120 years? Holy crap, can you imagine that? Like being cursed to live 120 years? And God help you that if you do not have perfect health at that point, eesh, imagine living for that long. The trauma, just existing of that level of trauma is like whoosh, no thanks. It's one of those things where you gotta say is like no thanks, you know, no thanks. So that's another thing. Mental math is a nice way to dodge the question. There's no way the whole equation of Mother Nature, even you don't exist, Mother Nature will come back from glory. You have to understand mass extinction is a normal thing. What do you think happened to all the planets? There are 9 planets in this ecosystem. There are 3 rocky bodies to the system. There is a very good chance Venus had life and Mars. Why do you think we are trying to find it? Planets over time, over geological time frame, they disappear. Over cosmic time frame, they are just like blip. So if you want to masturbate yourself, go ahead, go YOLO on it. But like fundamentally on a cosmic time frame, it's like Earth is here, it will be gone. It will be just like another star that you are seeing, poof, like supernovas. Imagine it this way, every supernova that we are discovering right now is a star in the past that went boom. And imagine what happened to all the planets around it. It went boom. That's fact, that happens. So it's one of those things you can keep masturbating. It's like, oh, nature and blah blah blah. It's the only thing that is of value on this planet is intelligence, and it has only one test to pass: jump from this planet. Basically, the moment we jump, and the moment we, then again we'll have two exams. The first exam will be jumping from the planet, so going to moon, going to Mars, having a self-sustaining colony there. That's the jump number one. That's the, like, baby step. Baby step number two, like the actual step, jumping to other solar system. The moment we go to Alpha Centauri, that will be the, like, that will be the time. If humanity can jump that and do that regularly, let's say go to 5-6 stars, then we are sorted. At that point in time, every star we can jump from, because again, the more you do, the better you get, the more efficient your systems become. You can keep jumping, and then once you do that, then we can start to take over the whole universe. That way we will matter. And then at that point, star would be like, oh, this star. There will be people who are born and died like they've never heard of this sun, they would never heard of this planet, like, again, heard as in like in school, but not like known it. So that's the whole point. Iran have fertility rate of 1.69. Yeah, that's a United Arab Emirates 91% the fertility rate. See, it's about the, you have to understand there is a very serious combination of things, and be mindful whenever you are saying Islam or Muslims, it does not mean anything. It's like saying Indian, it does not mean anything. You have to purify. Like, for example, if I say Indian, it does not mean anything. If I say Bihari, you're like, okay, I have a translation. If I say South Indian, you're like, okay, I have say. If I say Punjabi, you see, like, you have to narrow it down. So if you go to America and say American, it's like it does not mean anything. You have to say Texan or Nebraska or Alaskan. Like, you see, you have to narrow it down. So same goes in that culture also. There are different ecosystems, so to say, different sects, so to say, completely different. They will go boom boom with each other, like, even though they are inside one umbrella. But you have to understand, that's why you cannot generalize, okay, this. So you have to understand what sect is there, what specific sect you are talking about. Then you will start to see the mathematics. Then what about Iran, Bangladesh, and whoever fertility? Again, qualify for the sects. And here's the deal. You have to understand, religion-wise, like, again, there are a lot of agencies that do this. Religion-wise, they are most healthiest at this point in time. Because again, even though there are certain places, they are growing in Africa. Yeah, and what is the fertility rate of Africa? 6. So yeah, that's the whole point. Do not focus on a small thing. Zoom out a bit. And again, please be very mindful when you're generalizing it like that. Again, it's general for you and me, because again, we are not in that religion. But for other people who are in that religion, they're like, dude, what you're talking about, that's completely different to us. It's like, like, I've been to South India, like, I've been to Bangalore. They're completely different to Hindi. Hindi does not make sense to them. Like, there are like, you are a visitor here, please learn your language. Do not ask us to learn Hindi, use Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam. That's what they are. So that's why I said, like, you have to understand the whole context of it, not just one thing. That's why I reject all religion and become atheist. It will give peace of mind. It's up to you. It's up to you. I mean, not just molten salt or steam cycle, but concentrated solar or not hot side string. Yeah, we tried that. Does not work. See, anything you are talking about, like, it shows that you are not thinking it through. Think it through, my man. And please, for the love of God, Google it. Google it. It's like, I think this could work. Google it. I can guarantee you half of the time you're like, oh, damn, somebody did this. It happens. Is it right that increasing in urbanization decreases in fertility rate? No, the destruction of family unit is completed. And be mindful, the urbanization that happened in 1800s, the first time urbanization happened, like, people drained from rural areas into the cities, that happened in early 1800s. The first time cities became a thing, the first time this happened, what you call industrial revolution happened. So that was never an issue. The issue was always, is like, so far humanity has never ever had any issue with family unit. Everything else was broken, but we had family unit. Ironically, we are in the time where nothing is broken except the only thing that should not have been broken is family unit. Like, why we are not solving global warming? Again, because nobody cares. Why nobody cares? Nobody has family to give a damn about. Like, for example, this technology, low temperature thermal desalination, it solves all the water problem. And you're like, okay, it's a lab technology. No. India, basically National Institute of Ocean Science, you can Google it if you want to, they built one unit of it. It worked. Then they built another. There are 3 units, 4 units that I just know, like, 3 in the Andaman Islands, and like, yes, one island has that. And here's the funny thing, it was built in 2011, still working. It's not a magical technology. It's not like it could work or would work. No, it's there. People forgot about it. That's how good it is. And the island capacity was like 1 lakh liter per day. Energy consumption per unit of water, very small, smaller than RO water. Like, and again, there is no, salinity penalty, so to say. So it's one of those things. Yeah, why you explain better than Google. That's a very cheeky. That's a very cheeky answer. You did cheeky, my boy. You are doing a very cheeky answer here. It's like, okay. On thanks for clearing my doubts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. On other news, my brother just gave me like basically his ancient portable drives like these puppies, and yeah, they are empty because I have opened them up, extracted the hard drives. They are 2 terabytes. Now I always wanted to build a NAS for myself, but never like got around to it, or like actually I did try once when I had this computer as my main computer. I did try with my even older computer. That's like holy time, I was scared to say it might be 20 years old, but it did not work out. Like the biggest problem in that motherboard was that it only had 2 SATA port, and you need a minimum of 3, so to say, because the idea is that you're gonna have one OS and then you're gonna have where is the hard drives? Yeah, and then you're gonna have 2 mirror hard drives. That's the bare minimum requirement. So, and that computer, the good part was small, low energy, but penalty was it's too outdated. As in, like, it does not even have gigabit Ethernet, not even 100 Mbps I can do, no USB 3. So it was, and I thought of buying cards, but it does not have PCI Express, it has PCI. So it's ancient. It does have PCI Express 116x slot. So it took too much effort. I did try it, it did not work out. So now I'm trying with this. Now this puppy has a lot of capacity, as in, yeah, the motherboard is much more newer. Again, it's still ancient. It has PCI 2.0, so I can't do too much of expansion. But as a learning tool, like how do you actually have a computer, install hard drive, do the whole configuration and all that, I can learn from it. The only minor issue with this puppy is that it has graphics card, 1070 graphics card. Now that's a problem. Like, this is supposed to be as low energy as possible. So once I install it, I have to remove the graphics card. Again, in my older system, because it had onboard graphics, that was the good part of it. I could have easily removed the graphics card and directly run on CPU. This is AM3, I think. Yeah, this is AM3 Bulldozer FX8350. So that does not have it. So it's one of those things. So please, Mr. Viewer, like RCR 90 phase difference or OC. So why are entering his personal spaces minor bias? Like, okay, what are the progress on your electronic project? Yeah, on the other news, like finally I got some time. Like this week, at least one whole day I worked for it, and there is a problem that Arduino IED, that integrated environment, it got a big update. It went from number 2 to number 3, like a major update. Yeah, it bricked all the ESP32 protocol. And ESP32 protocol, the moment you try to do any PWM, people will say use the LED library. Where is the chip? Yeah, here's the chip. So if you want to basically control the PWM, which again I needed for my fan, I had to use that LED library. That stopped working. Like I tried, I thought ChatGPT was making mistake, but then I tried some old codes which I knew that worked, but they also bricked. Then I'm like, it was not compiling. But nothing is wrong with this. The IED was not compiling. So then I looked around, and then I randomly found it's like, hey, there is a known issue and it's solved. I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I fed back that data to ChatGPT. ChatGPT like, okay, they have changed it. ESP32 themselves have changed it, and Arduino, they have updated it. So you have to write codes differently. You have to use a different library, so to say. So that took some time, but that is sorted. As of now, when I'm making this, I can actually get a code in this and it's working. So that part has made some progress. If I get time, I'll actually upgrade the Wi-Fi part, because again, I almost reached to a point where my phone was getting the Wi-Fi signal. I'm loading the page from this, everything was working. It's just that every time I tried that, PWM library, it stopped working. But I have made some progress in this regard. So slow but steady progress. And yeah, it's the only way I can actually do this. Like I sit down, I spent whole time on it. But last week I wanted to make sure that I complete that whole one video a day kind of scenario. Next week I'll take a bit of edge off and then spend some time into this. And again, into this, I do want to try this to get it working. Hold on, let me drink some water. So I have asked to make a video of RCR 90 phase difference. I do not know what you're talking about. Like, you have to provide some context. Do not use short forms. I get confused on that, because again, there are so many short forms. Be very clear what exactly you're talking about. Understood. Okay, you explain all topics in bump chicka style. Okay, I do my best. What about case? Yeah, case is right now I'm waiting for that November. Basically, December, let's just say first week of December, I'll know whether my case is completely closed or just like, it's gonna go to High Court. But that is also my time frame for, like, you generally get 90 days or 3 months, so to say, to open a case into High Court. You cannot just like, okay, I'm gonna open like whenever I want. No, if the case is closed by district court, you have to, like, in 90 days you have to go there. Now the payment that I have to make for the penalty, that penalty also gives me 90 days. So we are waiting, we are saving up money. Once we have that money, like boom, and again we are trying to delay it as much as possible, because again, if we give the money right now, they will use that money itself to go to High Court. So it's like, okay, let's apply some brakes. That's on the, if that December first week goes clearly, that means only one case would be left, and we'll see whatever happens to that. But again, that will give me a very big relief. Like, again, yeah, I'm paying a lot, like a majority of this year's income just went into the case. That's the sad part. But okay, I'm like, okay, it's like this is the first time I have won something, so I'm like happy. And winning here is like, running away with my own life. So that's what it is. Capacitor shows 90-day phase difference shows on oscilloscope that you purchased. Yeah. Electricity, and again, AC electricity at high voltage is not something that I am comfortable with. I may need a step down transformer and all that, like that variac thing. Right now, that's not the priority. So my apologies. So what do you think of plastic use in food packaging? Does microplastic leach into the food material when food is wrapped into the plastic? No, the likelihood of that is almost very low. The most likelihood source is water. Water has microplastic that goes into the food system, because again, plastic does not degrade magically. Like, you cannot just take plastic, like, let's say this is plastic, it will not magically become microplastic no matter how much food you put into this. Nylon will, but again, we wear nylon, that's the issue. So water is the contamination source, because once plastic go into ocean, it gets exposed to ultraviolet, then it breaks into smaller and smaller and smaller. So there is a lot of physical turbulence, and there is ultraviolet. That's how microplastics are created. Again, there are some things that leach, specifically plastic fibers or nylons. Those puppies do make a microfiber, but generally it's the salt that is entering every microplastic into us again. Interesting. In my electronics engineering, made so many projects, but I'm also learning about ESP32 Wi-Fi stuff because I was never interested. Now I want to open a YouTube channel about crazy process. Cool. That's the whole point of it. The more you learn, the more excited you get. So it's one of those things that it's a good expenditure of energy. So how much you paid for your SPS and how is performing? I don't recall the exact price, and again, price has dropped into this big billion day sale, so you should be able to get it for cheap. And again, don't ask price for something, because again, it changes. Like, I buy it right now, 2 years from now, oh, you're lying, because again, why did you pay that much? It's like, time changes, that's why. And like, before the sale, after the sale was very significant in this. And again, FE24 is also released. Samsung S24 FE is released. But again, I'm not frustrated that I did not wait for it, because the price is too high. It's like freaking 60,000. I'm like, damn, that price is too high for it. What about performance? Other than battery, I'm happy with almost everything else. I did not experience where it's like, whoa, it did not work, or like, it's glitching or anything like that. I'm happy with it. But again, I'm not a heavy user. The only thing that I use of it that is like, high end is like USB, as in USB 3.0. So that's there. Made NE55 PWM generator driver get MOSFET controller DC series motor 7 amp 3 HP not working, but works in 7. Explain what to do. I am sorry, my man, you are going too deep. You are exceeding my ability to even understand. That's a very different thing. If it's Rahul Gandhi is not his opinion, but others are not accepted. So right now my primary project is like, I have to spend some time away from YouTube to get actually some time into this, and then building this puppy. That's the main thing, because now I actually have the hard drive, and again, my target is using TrueNAS, ZFS, and just figuring things out, like how does it work. And if I can remove the graphics card, I think I can reduce the power consumption a lot, because again, power is the biggest weak link in my hometown. Biggest weak link. Like, I am not angry about anything. Like, we have enough water, we have enough resources, we have airports, we have railway station, we have trains opening from here. Everything is here. We even have like Domino's here. So almost everything is here except freaking reliable electricity. That's the only weak link. So thankfully it is solvable. Once I have enough money piled up in my investments, then I'll get my whole roof solar top done, and then we'll be like, okay, That's the biggest jump that I want to do right now. Can distillation process of seawater solve water scarcity? Does it create pollution? What the heck? Did you not watch the starting of the video? Multi-phase distillation, thermal distillation creates waste that is 1.5x, meaning imagine you took the water, removed 50% of the salty water, you removed 50% of water waste, salt concentration goes up and it becomes brine. Now brine is not what you call, you have to give a damn about it, you cannot just discharge it. We used to do that, it sterilized that whole area, so we have learned the hard way that you cannot discharge it. And again, 1.5 is not that bad, diluting is not that difficult, but it does consume a lot of energy. Like no other country, unless you have like energy surplus, you cannot do that. Okay, so that's the first option. Second option is reverse osmosis. Reverse osmosis, energy wise, as in like the unit of energy you spent to get a ton of water, it's very low. That's the good part. Side effect, it's very capital intensive, as in like you have to pay bonkers amount of money to get it. On top of that, the brine that it makes is very polluting. It's like 2x. It's very brutal, like diluting it, and again it also requires some chemicals treatment that also makes it very what you call something significant. Like you cannot just like lol it, like it's a very significant thing. On top of that, that's just the the brine part. The biggest hurdle is that all these things create a issue, and again they are also very expensive. So India developed the technology known as low temperature thermal distillation. Yes, India did, and yes, only India does that. And yes, it's not a lab technology, it's actually in use. There are multiple plants in India. Unfortunately, nobody documents it. So you guys gonna see this whole detail in this. Now the idea with low temperatures thermal desalination is that you are just paying for the pumps, you're not paying for membrane, you're not paying for, and what about the concentrate? It's negligible. You barely get 10% of water out. So you take seawater, you barely get 10% out of it. Benefit, the brine is almost pure reject. You do not have to worry about processing and all that. So that's the good part, meaning it does not destroy the biosphere. But again, if you're doing it on a large enough scale, you still get the water. What is that island plant that I'm talking about? That has 1 lakh liter or 100,000 liter per day of fresh water capacity, and all it requires is pumps and a chamber, nothing more. Pumps, basically you have 2 pumps, water pumps, and 1 vacuum pump. So no, optical media, all optical medias are generally once use only. MDIX, one use only. It's you figure out what you need to save, and then you save it, you forget about it. That's the whole point. It's archive. It's not supposed to be a hard drive. It's not this where you read, write and all that. So you have to understand that. Do not go into the, oh, I'll rewrite it. No, there are rewritable Blu-rays, but those are very fragile. They were never meant to be like, replacement for this. So fundamentally, the optical system is only you put and forget. Like something interesting happened, I put the data into the disk, I forget about it. That's the whole point of it. So MDisk will not allow you to undo it. And as of now, Blu-ray prices in India is ludicrously high. Pay from eBay. And yes, one of my members in Telegram group had done that, where they paid for eBay and got the thing working and all that. So and again, things that are coming from Japan does not seem to have too much customs issue and all that. So you can try that. But again, try it at your own risk. It's up to you. But do not expect that disk can be written. All disks are worm media. Write once, read many. Okay, I'm sure you accept everyone have different opinion, but it doesn't give you the permission either. I'm maturity buddy. Poco Pad 5G prices, Flipkart launch price 19,000. Yeah, it happens. Price. See, there is a reason why you do not focus on price. It changes too much. It's like you're gonna drive yourself mad if you try to focus on price of things. It's a waste of effort. Actually, does nobody donate in this English channel? It's like, come on, that's weird. That's very weird. Can we use brine water for bathing? No. Your skin will get destroyed. Nothing can survive. The heck, ocean life cannot survive in this. Like, how the heck you expect us to say? Yeah, yes, I'm also trying eBay. Yeah. Again, that's again, once I'm paid for the system and by December I'll know, then I'll also start buying bulk order from eBay, because again, eBay is the only one which directly connects me to Japan, and Japan is the only place that I still manufactures optical discs. So this should be a good combination, so to say. Oh, my phone was there. So it's like, explain the pumped hydro, putting water on top takes energy, falling water gives energy. Shouldn't be the same according to the laws of energy. How the heck you came to that conclusion, Ghosh? How the heck you came? Like, if you put something like this, you dumped energy into the system. Nothing changed here. You are the one who put energy there. Now, you extracted the energy. You are the one playing it. That's the thing in this way. Spring does not have energy. You dump energy into it, then it expands. You give it energy, you take it away. So same way as pumped hydro. You pumped the water up. You did that. You dumped energy into it. You made it into high energy state. Then you let it run out. How the heck you are mixing thermodynamics into that, man? You are the one who are adding energy to it, right? You add energy to things, it does not disappear, right? Energy cannot be created or destroyed. So you, let's say you took solar energy, you dumped into motors, that motor dumped energy into water. What happened then? Right? Something must have happened, right? So water gained that potential energy in terms of which format? In terms of gravity. You took it from, let's say, sea level to, let's say, 100 meters. That 100 meter happened, na? It consumed energy, na, to do that, and then when you let it run out, you get that energy back. Now again, it's not 100% efficient. You are lucky if you get 70%, but that's the whole point. Indian media is busy, actually busy giving TRPs type of things. You given signal now, how you got a telegraph read to reject and nobody cares. See, there is I have a very serious disdain with the Indian news media, simply because the BS that they have covered recently. And again, like China names a reactor sun reactor, and everybody is like, China built artificial sun. I'm like, how the heck? What is the weed supplier, man? It's like, what the hell? China just named it, and I'm not joking. I had fighting with relatives about this. Whereas, like, and again, the book, if I had read the book, it would have helped me. It's like, I should not have cared. I should not have cared. It's like, yeah, you believe something stupid, it's not your fault. You trust into news system, again, not your fault. Inherently, you should be able to trust them. But if they are not, it's like, and again, it should not be my duty to, like, oh, you know wrong about this. Like, again, if a child asks it and they are learning, then of course I'll give a damn. But if, like, elderlies are talking about this, it's like, I have to just let it go. So that's there. Isn't busy, actually they're busy giving him TRP type of given signal. I do not know what you're going on about, but yeah, that's the whole point. Gosh, how are you gonna control 220 volts at 12 volt power consumption maximum voltage? 724 volt can't control 220 volt running something on 220 volt. You need switch or relays. Yeah. Or you need line level MOSFETs, which are there, not MOSFET, triacs. You can use triac to control it, which again, it's not a very easy thing to do. It's like, you are playing with serious things if you can do that. But again, it exceeds my level. Like electricity, I'm like just a noob here, so to say. I just a noob, so to say. Now the biggest hurdle is that basically this case used to have like a cage, maybe like on the bottom part there used to be a cage below it also, hard drive cage. I opened it to have airflow and I have forgotten where the heck I put it, so I do not know where it is. So I only have slots, basically base for 2 hard drive. Good part, 2 mechanical hard drive, I have 2 slots for it, and I do not need to worry too much about vibration with this puppy. This is mechanical hard drive, but pardon me, this is a SSD, but still want to mount it and I have no idea how to mount it. So I mounted it there. I'm thinking to use 5-inch bay, pardon me, I'm planning to use 5-inch bay, but so I'm mounting 2.5 inch to 3.5 inch. Cool. Now I'm supposed to mount 2 of this into I'm supposed to do this to have 5-inch mounting, and then it will go into this. Now, unfortunately, I have no way, like the holes here do not line up with this puppy. So yeah, I have no idea what to do. I can mount 1 screw into this, and again, it's not needed, so to say, but it's like, I would rather have to have something working, but it's like, it seems gods have forsaken me. They are not interested in getting stuff working. I have to use nuts in this. I have to actually use nuts in this. Yeah, that would be another weird problem. Thanks for explaining. Like the energy storage is like energy. Yeah, it's the energy. You are dumping energy into it. You are changing something. Can't believe it's October already. Yeah, damn. That's why don't you drill into for mounting them? I should not need to. Again, I do not need to drill it. Like that wood is very far away. Again, problem is these are like for some reason very big holes. These are tiny holes. I can have screws for it. So let's say I want to mount something like this, and I'm like, okay. Right now, I take a screw and I go through this like this, like you see, then I jump here and I tighten the screw. Hold on. Oh, the magnet is sticking. That's why it's like it was so difficult, unnecessarily difficult. So you can see it works. Nothing is fine, but it's just like, because I have to use another nut or something to match that part out. It's annoying. It's nothing. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's just annoying. It's an annoying thing that I have to deal with. Can public housing solve housing issues in India? Housing issue is not in India. It's just that we have financial stupidity. Basically, certain things you have to what we call fair play. Certain things are fair play item, meaning you do not tamper with them. Like you do not, because again, in short term it will make sense, but in long term you will destroy. So certain things are designed that way. House has to be something like that. House cannot become what you call for profit item. The moment household becomes a profit item, yeah, everything goes kaput, so to say. So okay, so that's the that's the best I can get as of now. Other thing, well, I'll just type some. Yeah, this is the what I can do. Again, it will still be more than fine enough, and if I really want to, let's see whether it actually works or not. Let's see, does it actually work or not? So yeah, it works. I can do that. But again, like if I want like complete rigidity, I do not want to do jank solutions anymore. It's like I'm too old for that. So I might use the nut bolts and all that. But why are trying to use 220 volt AC to run a DC motor? I don't get it. I do not think. I think there is a miscommunication here. I think there is a miscommunication. So in which subject you are actually problem? I do not know what I get. Can public I'm 20 years old. My sister gave A73 with the kit lens and expect me to earn in lakhs within a year of threatening to sell the camera. Yeesh. Good luck, my man. I think, see, at some point you have to you have to just let things go. Do not use these things. Like if people use a thing to blackmail you, you have to just let it go. You have to just let it go. Don't get like, trust me, your freedom is one of those things that you learn the price of way too late. Like trust me, like useless jobs that are painful to do, but you are doing it because paying the bills and all that. Trust me, not worth it. Like we humans have learned it the hard way. It's like, trust me, certain things are just like not worth suffering for, so to say. So if somebody is like giving you ultimatum, work your ass off and just eat out of there. Never ever take ultimatums. Never. You will hate yourself if you do. So that's the one thing you must understand. Which subject you are actually pro? I do not know what you're trying to say. It's like, oh, somebody actually donated this time in English channel, which again, I'm genuinely shocked how few people donate in English channel. Hold up. Deepak Sharma, you have donated 51 rupees. Thank you so much, sir. Do you not share here on YouTube? YT Purneet Bharshas. Dude, you are trying to write too long. It does not transfer. Sir, do you not SH yet on YT CHYT? You are talking about collaboration with someone else, na? Okay, I'll keep it in mind. But see, there are as of now, one big thing happened. It's like, hold on, let me drink some water. Yeah, YouTube just Yeah, YouTube just put me into creators community. I'd never understood like this is a whole community where you have a manager from YouTube side, and they're gonna like figure things out for you, help you to grow your channel and all that. And again, that just happened. I just had Friday was the first meeting of it, so to say. 200 people were there. I was like, damn. And again, I saw some only few people had their cameras on. I saw one gentleman who was sitting and like had a silver medal and gold medal. I'm like, damn, that's like million plus. So there were some people like that, and then some people were like 10,000 subscribers. I'm like, what is the ratio here? It's like I did not get it. Like, what is the like? It almost felt like random because some people were asking very genuine, very deep question. Other people are like, oh, why my shorts are not making so much money? It's like there is no ads on a short. That's why the shorts do not make so much money. It's like it's not that complex. So that was there, but again, I'll try to learn as much as I can, and again, I have to control myself. I have to let go of my ego, and I have to learn anything. And again, I did learn what's the hell is the difference between live streaming and podcasting. It's like podcast is a completely different what you call menu, and I'm like, okay, I see what's the point of it, so to say. Like the idea with podcasting is that it could be just a video. I do a podcast, I upload the video, that's one thing. Another aspect is that utilizing that podcast, you can go into YouTube music and still listen to it. So that's a very big difference. How much brain water is dangerous for cooking, bathing, and because how much brain water is dangerous for cooking and bathing, because nowadays many people don't do this because of water shortage? I was trying to make work out of the camera, but my sister kept making fun of my work. Eventually, demotivated me, and I agreed freedom and autonomy part greatly. See, at some point, see, many times people who have this sort of, again, assuming what you are telling is true, the way you are describing it, it sounds almost like a narcissist. No, but here's the deal, you have to understand, narcissist people are like very unlikable, even by everyone. Like nobody likes them. So how do they get that edge? Like, how they get the high? They have someone dependent on them. So they'll give you enough that you do not leave, but they will abuse the hell out of you for it. So it's up to you. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it's up to you. If somebody abuses you, you're like, bye. No fighting, no hating, no angry, no you will change or something. No, I'm out. Like I ain't got time for this. You have only one life, and you're gonna die at the other end of it. So go YOLO on it. Internally from your deep your mind, accept it. Like you have to work your ass off to let this go, and other things will become clear. I hope so. I hope so. It works out for you. Unnecessary suffering is not a desirable outcome, so to say, for anyone. So I do expect things to work out for you. Hopefully. No subject is actually like study. No subject you can actually like to study, take, talking, presenting. I'm not getting what you're trying to say. Like, know what subject you actually like to study, talk, present. Think my YouTube channel, man. It's like it's diverse. So not collaboration, only review if you find it helpful. Young generation, although Gurudev has many videos only for members recently. Deepak sir, not collaboration, only review. Review of like, why do you want my review? Think about it. Like, why are you asking me to review something? Like, think about it. Huh? Why? It's like, why? It's like that's why I do not tell people what camera to buy or what what mobile phone to buy. You have to make a list. That's the whole point. You have to make a filter yourself and then figure things out. It's like do not advocate responsibility, my man. It's like if you like that person that you are watching, watch it. You like it. The end. Like many people are very against Thunderfoot. I like it. Again, I have noticed that he has gone too cuckoo on the SpaceX part. I'm like, he just was talking about that Ocean Gate thing, and he was still going on SpaceX. Like, bro, let it go. But again, I have a filter where it's like, okay, whenever he talks about something else, I'll pay attention to it. When he goes into SpaceX rant, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. I do not have to listen to it. So that's why you have to develop your own filter. Filter is life, my man. You do not have filter, you're dead. Develop the freaking filter. When you go to put a large resistance between the drain and gate, if you do not generate too much feedback current, it could destroy the fatty. You will also Darlington pair configuration. Yeah, these things are too above my configuration, my brain. Power key in keypad and separate power key in laptop. Which is better? Oh, separate. I'll always take separate. You always want something to be like, no, this is just one thing that does one thing very well. Please read properly my comment. Is it English? Is in English. Technical. How much brain water? Brian. brine, it's brine. Brine water is dangerous for cooking and no, it's dangerous at all. Like if you can avoid it, avoid it. It's not an option. It's not an option. It's almost like reusing sewage. Like heck, salty water, like here's the deal, salty water is not suitable for those things. How can you expect salty water Pro Plus to work for anything? Think about it, na. If you have salty water that is not used for cooking, cleaning and anything like that, how can you expect salty water Pro Max to be used for anything else? Like think it through, man. Just think. That will solve all your problems. Think it, my man. I have different, it's like I could use camera for 1 year, like a machine produce gazillions of content, and then you say you will lose, you will know something, win-win. Yeah, go YOLO on it. Please as a comment properly, because of when intellectual spark. So I'm following him. So which tripod is on that back? Oh, that tripod. I think I made a video. Again, it's not a good tripod. It's like it was too overpriced when I bought it. My brother has a latest tripod which is cheaper and better for what I needed to do. It did not work out for me. Like, and again, after buying it, the new one was launched which was cheaper. Always. It's like every time I buy something, it becomes cheaper the moment after I bought it. But such is life. Such is life. According to you, AI videos, I want to say AI will merge with humans and make a homo processor, but this theory is chaos there than AI based robots kill human. I do not know what will happen. That's, you are asking about future, or you just have a prediction, right? At the end of the day, it's a prediction. We do not know. We may not live long enough to verify that prediction. So that's why I do not focus too much on AI. It's just I focus on the part that I know for a fact. That, for example, I know for a fact that every company will work their ass off to fire as many humans as possible so they can automate it and reduce the cost. That I know. That's a fact. But other than that, I do not know much. It's too late now as I am still in college, didn't have free time. Then she gave me like 2020. Okay, see, yeah, the way you are describing it, focus on your studies, focus on get out plan. Just that should be your only focus. Do not focus on anything else. Do not focus like, okay, I will also focus on photography. Heck, if you are actually doing properly in your studies, you will not have time for photography. Just do one thing properly, and then just yeet out of there. If you are telling what's true, it's like that describes almost narcissistic behavior, and again they will try their best to keep you under. So if you become like, okay, I'm leaving, they'll increase your payment, so you stay there. But again, you have to understand, freedom is priceless. If what you are talking about is true, and again I hope not, because again you are talking about a family, but it is what it is. Do you think Acer is a good brand? Yeah, it's a okay brand. It's okay brand. Again, whatever you buy, please check, does it have service center near you or not? Like, you bought something does not mean anything. Will they come out there to service your laptop? Will they ask you to ship it? Where will they ask you to ship it? If you are next to a big town, can you travel there to get it repaired and all that? That's up to you. Figure those part out first. Figure that part out first, because you could be like, oh, this company is awesome, it just does not have any service center in India. What's the point? So be very mindful of that. Be very, very mindful of that. Be very mindful of that. I think it's a good plan. Be very mindful of that. Okay. So, yeah, that's the whole point now. Next week, basically, two main things is I'll try to get to the Wi-Fi level again, which again, I did got one time working, and people who are in my Telegram group, you must have seen the screenshot. I've shared that. That ESP fan controller, I got it almost working. It's just that the moment I try to connect with that power board, hold on. The moment I try to connect it with the power board like this, which is like, which side it is? Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. The moment I connected like this and connected the power, yeah, it stopped working. After that, I realized that library has an issue. So this is still waiting, still in progress, but I will work my ass off. Like, I'll not abandon this. That's my first target. Second is at least have something that works to complete the fume extractor. Then I'll worry about whether to, you know, upgrade it to a proper product or not. But again, I have to just make sure I do not abandon this, and I can no longer use court case as a justification, because as of now, knock on wood, the one that is remaining, I do not have to travel much for it, and let's see what's happened. So Are you a science graduate? I wish to introduce the channel to you and your subscriber because it's one of the best channel available on YouTube. It will help everyone. I think all the students should follow it. Not imposing, only requesting. As I said, I bought it for 50 needed to first lines, but now my sister wants to sell the camera. Dude, you seem to be a very chaotic person. So like if somebody give you just a camera and you just directly bought lens for it, it's like, and they were telling you you know. See, Deepak, the moment you request me to do something, I'll do opposite of it. I will not do it. Flatter. As you working with electric, try to make a video playlist on microcontroller 880. See, again, ESP32 is kicking my. I'm not a programmer. I'm not an electrician. I just do it as a hobby level. So if I can get ChatGPT to do something useful for me, then I can talk to someone. It's like, hey, if you have an idea, you can put enough horsepower together, because again, PCB is annoying, tedious, but it's doable. A normal person can do it. And again, I got my PCB made in India, so that can also be done. You do not have to deal with customs and all that. So fundamentally, I'm not what you call expert in that. That's why it's not my focus. My expertise is in this puppy. That's why I'm like focusing on the hard drive part. That's my targeting goal. VI is going bankrupt. Spectrum prices are too high. Geo and Airtel. It's like, yeah, that's the whole point. But again, I'm at least happy that there are two companies. Technically three, but like BSNL, I think my father just got a message like upgrade to 4G. I'm like, wow. So latest and greatest update to 4G. It's very sad. I tried explaining to my situation. ChatGPT calls it extremely complex. Lol. Yeah. See, do not focus on anything other than your studies as of now. So you can get competency. Once you have the competency, you will get a job, and then you just yeet out of there. Learning as a hobby. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of a hobby. It's like, here's the deal. You are born, you get into a routine, and you die. That's the life. That's like nothing other than that happens in a life. So, but here's the deal. How do you enjoy that? Like, you know, how do you enjoy it? Well, you do extra things. For example, there's this TV show, House of Cards. There was this one statement where this Frank character, he has like a whole diorama built, like, you know, small civil war. Like people used to do that. Like that was a very, you know, high class, so to say, hobby people used to do. And he was like, he showed one of his friends. It's like, how the heck you did that? It's like, you know, 1 hour here, 1 hour there, and it took me quite some time. Like I think in story is like, you know, it took 1 or 2 years to build it, that. But that's the whole point. At the end of it, you still did your normal duty, your normal obligations, and then you also had this extra thing. That's why I'm developing this sort of thing. Like it's an extra for me. So like I made my video, and then also I built this, and that's what I want at the end of it, where it's like, okay, I did my work, and then I have something extra to it. I will work, and in this preservation only this thing will work. I'll help you. Yeah. Okay. So it's 1 hour mark is over. Okay. I thank you for such a very lively live stream, and again, a lot of people watched it, so I'm very happy. And thank you for first English channel donation in this time, as in like it's very rare. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.